Good evening, guys. Hello and welcome along once again to a Monday evening of racing with me, your boy Vexed. It's Vexman, and we're here with the Tier 1 drivers from the Aero League Racing's Gt7 Championship. So this is season 16, round 3. We're at Brazil this week, Interlagos. So as the standings are at the moment, we've got BX at the top of the table, BX Royal in first place with 71 points. He's got a 12-point lead over Slim, who's currently sat in second place. That's Coleman. He's on 59 points. Then we've got Kep in third place at the moment. Kep only 15 points off Coleman with 44 points. We've got Alessandro in fourth place with 42 points. Kellen is in fifth in the AMG with 37 points. We've got Zico in sixth place with 30 points. CMP is in 7th place with 29 points. We got Racing Green, who made a debut last week, was it? Yeah, he made a debut last week. Finished 6th in the first race, but actually managed to finish on the podium in 2nd place in the feature. He's on 27 points. We've got Elian in 9th place on 25. Erias in 10th with 24 points. Then we have Carter in 11th for 23 points. We've got Capel in 12th for 23, so he's tied with Carter at the moment. We've got Bad Robot 13th with 15 points. Then we have Gilles in 14th with 10 points. We've got Yannick in 15th with 5 points. Dandeman is in 16th currently with 4 points. And Owen down to 17th now with 1 point. He's only 3 points at the moment off the back of Dandeman though, but we'll have to see if Owen makes a return this season or not. Dandeman here again this evening. And yeah, he did... I think I said last week, didn't I? He'd made an appearance, and it was actually his first week last week. So perhaps Dandeman taking the place of Owen, not too sure. I've not seen anything in the chat so far, so I don't think I've had any notifications about it. But yeah, I think we're going to have a good one again tonight. It's looking like that Honda Civic may be a very good car around in Interlagos. Alessandro as well, looking very fast on that Lexus. I think the Lexus is going to be a strong car around Interlagos this evening. Coleman currently sat in third. That's Slim there. He's actually second in the standings at the moment. Kep currently sat in third. Kep's currently 6th in practice. So at the moment, Racing Green with the fastest time in practice of a 1:32.05. Alessandro improved there slightly, did he? No, he's actually coming up to the line now. 1:30.236, so only 300ths now off of Racing Green's time. I think it's going to be a very, very close grid after qualifying. I think it's definitely going to be a very interesting qualifying once again as well. And Yannick actually currently only 1/10 off Coleman as well. So looking quite fast in the Genesis X. I think he had a shaky couple of first rounds. That thing does seem to be very track specific, doesn't it? CMP had a stormer, didn't he, last week? He did really well in the sprint, I think it was, and then the feature not quite as good if I remember rightly. But yeah, Craig's come back after having mechanical issues with his wheel, and yeah, he's managed to get back in the game. Currently sat in 7th place actually, and yeah, he came 3rd in the end in the sprint, and actually 5th in the first week in the first race as well in the sprint. So really strong in the sprint is Craig. Obviously BX did the double, didn't he, in week 1. He came 7th uncharacteristically in the sprint race, but actually went on to win the feature last week. Slim Coleman has had a really good outing so far this season. In week 1 actually his best position in the sprint was 7th, but he finished 2nd in the feature, and then 2nd again in the sprint in week 2, and 3rd in the feature in week 2. So good points on the board there for Slim. And Kev has actually had a fairly decent run as well. He's had a 4th, a 3rd, 13th and a 5th. Alessandro as well, he's been 2nd, he's been 9th, he's been 4th, and he's been 6th. And Kellen, who rounds out the top 5, he's had a 3rd, 2 5ths and an 11th place. He's currently on 37 points, and he's 34 points off of BX Royal at the moment. So with the team standings as well, we've got Super and BRZ on 100 points. So that is obviously CMP and BX Royal currently on 100 points. We've got the Lexus RCF not too far behind on 86 points. We've got the Porsches on 82 points. AMG in 4th place with 61 points. Toyota Supra in 5th place with 48. The Mazda RX Vision lads are currently 6th with 40 points. The Honda NSX 7th with 27, but only the first week last week, obviously. BMW M6 currently 8th with 19 points, and the Genesis X currently in 9th with 6 points, and we haven't seen the Corvette or the Toyota FT1 so far this season. Yeah, qualifying will get underway shortly, as it is now 8 o'clock. I'm sure there's probably been a message from BX at the side. I just missed it. We'll have a look at the chat quickly. In fact, no, we can. I thought we could get a replay of the chat, but I can't remember how to do that. Oh, that was Dan the Man going for a bit of sightseeing there in the M6. Gilles and the Angry Wasp. What can he do this evening? He had a really good battle with Dan the Man in, I think it was in the feature, wasn't it, last week? Towards the end of the race, him and Dan the Man just swapping position lap after lap. Very good indeed. Great fun to watch. Coleman now coming out on fresh set tyres. BX is sitting in the pits. He's probably going to be getting ready to start qualifying. So Carter, in fact no, Racing Green still with the fastest lap on the board in practice, but it looks like 1:30 is the standard, so obviously Racing Green for 1:30.126. Carter currently on a 1:30. Yannick is on a 1:30. We've got Coleman 1:30. Gilles, oh wait, Gilles actually on a 1:31. 1:31 for Dens. Perry can't see his time, and we can't see the other guys' time because they're all in the pits now. Okay. So by my watch, it's actually about 2 minutes past 8 o'clock now. Then still yet to get out of the 1:31s. So are we going to see, I'm sure we're going to see qualifying start soon. I imagine BX has probably gone to the toilet, or maybe letting some of the late joiners just get in a couple of laps, get the right in. Try to see the times. Oh, so yeah, it looks like we're just waiting for somebody. I think somebody's just joined the room. I think it was Xavi. So that's what we were waiting for. We're waiting for Xavi to join. I think now he's joined. Qualifying will get underway once he's on track. So we had 14, didn't we? We're waiting for the 15th guy to join. Yeah, we're definitely waiting for Xavi. There we go, Xavi is now in the room. We will find BX Royal, although we'll probably have to find him again once qualifying starts. But we like to go on board with BX because he normally comes out before everyone. Yeah, we've got to find him again. Normally comes out before everyone else. And will finish his first flying lap and set the standard, so to speak. Well, this is it, guys. We're now into qualifying. Obviously, the guys will complete their first out lap, and then they'll be on their first bankers of the evening. Obviously, they've only got 10 minutes of qualifying, so they will be putting in a very fast first flyer lap, I'm sure. I know some of the guys, they probably prefer to try and use some of the fuel in the first. Maybe go for a fast lap and then stick on a fresh set of softs and then use a bit more fuel. So if you time it right, you can get out and get another lap or two in. But it's quite a short one actually around Interlagos, one of the shorter tracks. I'd say the standard probably around a 130. We'll probably see some of the guys dip into a 129. Maybe even less on low fuel. Although I think 129 is very respectable. I can't quite remember from my days of Gt7 what sort of times I was doing respectively. I'll have to have a look. Probably 131s. I think a 130 is quick and a 129 is very fast in the GT3 category. So BX are now on his first flying lap of the evening in the Subaru BRZ. He's going to come down this first straight sector, hard braking zone into this first left-hander. This is like turn 3 into 4. Oh no, BX! BX has a moment straight into the wall. Yannick, hopefully Yannick doesn't collect it. Yeah, he's out of the way of Yannick now. So Yannick's going to be the first person to finish his first flying lap in the Genesis X. Then we've got Alessandro. BX has actually joined behind Alessandro, but I think he's going to write that lap. Well, he's going to have to write that lap off, isn't he? He just dipped a wheel ever so slightly on the outside there, and it just sent the car around. Very, very slippery. If you get over that curb and you start to touch the marbles, which will start to form. But I think there is already, yeah, you can see marbles already on the track. It can get very slippery indeed. So Yannick takes the reins for the first flying lap of the evening in the Genesis X. What is his time going to be as he comes up to the line now through the final turn? This is probably the final turn here, isn't it? Not really a turn, but I think. And yeah, so 130.681 there. Alessandro over 130.257. Racing Green moves up to provisional pole for 130.257. 4 tenths faster at the moment than Yannick. And as you saw, Yannick was the first person to finish his flying lap. So Racing Green setting the standard at the moment of 130.257. He's actually putting the purple sector on this second flyer of the evening. Will he start to pick up? He might start to pick up the slipstream from Alessandro, which is actually going to help him quite a bit. So he may break into the 29s. We may see Racing Green jump into the 29s. I think he's got it in him. He's looking very consistent at the moment. He's on board. We see the inputs. Very smooth indeed. So currently we've got Racing Green on provisional pole. We've got Carter in second place. We've got Yannick in third. Alessandro is in fourth. We've got Coleman fifth. Den's provisional sixth. Danderman provisional seventh. Kellen eighth. Oh, actually, go back see what Racing Green's time is. He was up, wasn't he? Is he going to go into the pits? No, he's going to stay out, surely. Yeah, I think he's going to improve, but it's not going to be a lot. And in fact, he's actually a tenth down there. I'm not sure where he lost that time there. So where was I? Kellen was 8th. Then we have Capel, provisional 9th place. Xavi, currently provisional 10th. BX all the way down in 11th. Obviously, he's still yet to get in a lap. In fact, is this his first proper lap of the evening? This might be. Currently on a 31.404. He's up 2 tenths through that sector. This is your championship leader at the moment. He wants to be trying to... He's probably aiming to get towards the front of the grid. But then I think... To be fair, at the moment, it doesn't matter really too much because obviously with a top 10 reverse grid, as long as you're still finishing in the top 10, you're going to be quite good for the come the feature. But he needs to break into that top 10. Also, we've still got a sprint yet to come. This is only qualifying. He's actually 3 tenths up through that sector. What is BX's final time going to be on this lap? Racing Green is still provisional pole. I don't think he's going to topple Racing Green. He's definitely going to move up through the order. Will he break into the 30s is the question. And he's actually into the pits. So Racing Green still out. He actually improved that time around 1:30.188. So he goes 3 tenths faster than Yannick, currently sat provisional 2nd place. Really, really good qualifying at the moment from Yannick. He's going to put on a fresh set of boots and try and get some more laps in. We're only 6 minutes in, nearly 7 minutes into qualifying, so still a few to go. We've got three minutes and change. We've got Alessandro currently sat in 4th place, provisional 4th. I think he's actually just lost out to Carter. Carter managed to move up to 3rd. Dropping Alessandro, I think, to 4th place. CMP improves up to provisional 5th. BX Royal in the background there. You can see, might be able to see him in this shot, not quite. Yeah, not far behind his teammate. Perhaps they're going to work together a little bit to try and get BX a little bit higher up the order. As I say, I don't think BX is going to be worrying too much at the moment. He's got like a reasonable lead over Coleman. I think if Coleman was to take the win in both the sprint and the feature, he would take the lead. Den's currently sat in 7th, provisional 7th that is, with Dan the man not far behind him, his teammate there in the 2nd of the 2M6. Looking good at the moment in this qualifying session. Kellen currently sat in provisional 9th, only a 10th off of Dan, and Gilles managed to break the top 10. He's only 800ths off of Kellen. This grid is close indeed though, isn't it? So Capel currently provisional 11th. Xavi manages to make it to 12th. BX now down to 13th. So yeah, this is very unlike BX to be sat as far down as he is. Perhaps he's just not, the car track combos just not gelling with too well. Kep moves up to 5th place and then immediately gets dropped to 6th because I think his Coleman has moved up to 3rd, which has dropped Carter and Yannick to 4th and 5th. Slowly approaching 9 minutes now. So Alessandro moves up to 2nd. He's managed to close that gap to Racing Green. Only a 10th in it now. Well, Racing Green moves out of the way for CMP there. He's obviously on a cool down. I think he thinks he's done enough. Alessandro, however, looks like he might still be on a lap. So we've got a 1:30 from Racing Green. Yes, he is up. He's 1/10 purple through that gap. Is he going to be able to topple Racing Green? From that provisional first place, we're going to have to stay on board with Alessandro just to see what his time is as he comes across the line. Anytime now. Yannick moves on to provisional 1st, and Racing Green, Alessandro, he can't do it. So Yannick, 200s faster than Racing Green. That's a 1:30.168 there for Yannick. GG's Yannick. Racing Green now down to 2nd place. I think he thought he was sitting pretty. We got Alessandro unable to improve. Well, he improved, didn't he? definitely improved, but unable to topple Racing Green for that second place. He was fighting for that pole position, wasn't he? But only good enough for third at the moment. Carter, provisional fourth place. We've got Coleman, provisional fifth. Is he on a lap though? I think Coleman is on his final lap. I think he's on his final qualifying lap. We got Kep as well, maybe also on a qualifying lap. He's actually purple there as well, Kep. So Kep may be improving. He may be shaking up that top five that you see right now. Denz moves out of the way. So Kep there in provisional sixth. We've got Xavi up to seventh, Kellen eighth, Perry ninth, CMP down to 10th now, Denz 11th, Danderman 12th, Gilles in 13th, Capel 14th, BX in 15th. What's going on with BX? BX, man, what's going on? Is he on a lap now? I'm not too sure. Wow, that's a turnout for the cards, isn't it? Definitely a turnout for the books this week. Qualifying has definitely been a spectacular one. So we've got Yannick still sat in provisional first place with a 1:30.168. That's a very, very good time indeed. Racing Green second with a 1:30.188. It's going to be interesting to see how, there comes BX now, and he improves up to 13th. What is going on? Coleman at the end there, 1:30.134. That's dropped Yannick now down to second place. So we've got Racing Green third, Kep up to fourth now. Kep, go on Kep. Alessandro fifth, Carter sixth. We'll have a look at the standings quickly now. So this is how it finished. Look at that top eight, 130s from all of the top eight. So we've got Coleman first place, starting on pole. We've got Yannick starting in second place. Racing Green will start in third. Kep in fourth. Alessandro fifth. Carter sixth. Xavi in seventh. We've got Kellen in eighth. Perry will start in ninth. CMP in 10th. Denz in 11th. Danderman in 12th. And the first of the 131s, BX Royal, unable to get out of the 131s. He'll start in 13th place. Then we've got Capel 14th and Gilles in 15th. Wow, what a qualifying that was. And BX, what is going on with BX this week? It's going to be an interesting race for sure. So we will go on board with, it's going to be Coleman. Coleman lining up on pole. Can he take the win in this first one this week? He's got Yannick to deal with there. They're in second place. He's also got Kep and Racing Green. And they're off. Oh, Coleman! Looked like he had a false start there. He's had to try and move over to cover off Yannick, but it was too late. Yannick's managed to get through, as well as Racing Green. Racing Green takes the lead. Coleman now trying to fight back against Yannick. There's been a bit of a concertina in the background there. Not sure who that was. Two cars coming together. Somebody's facing the wrong way around. It was CMP. CMP, what's happened to CMP? So Racing Green now 7/10 is his lead over the rest of the field. We've got Yannick there in second place. Coleman down to third off the lead. What is going on with that Porsche off the starts? He lost the lead off the start last week, I think, didn't he? Then we got Kep in fourth place, followed by Alessandro in fifth. We've got Kellen there in sixth. Carter now seventh. We've got Perry in eighth. Xavi is ninth place. BX up to 10th. Denz is 11th, Gilles is 12th, Capel 13th, CMP now in 14th, Danderman 15th. So I think maybe Danderman and CMP having a bit of a coming together. Danderman's showing sportsmanship there and waited for him. I don't think it was, I think it was just like a concertina, as you saw. The cars very bunched up as they came into turn one for the first time this evening. However, Racing Green in that Civic, look at him go. Or was it the NSX? It's the NSX, isn't it? It's not a Civic, it's an NSX. What am I on about? Racing Green in Honda NSX. Absolutely flying at the moment. It looked like he was going to take pole, didn't it? In qualifying, but he actually didn't need to at the end. So Yannick still in the second place, holding off Coleman there in third. Coleman needs to try and get his head back in the game, doesn't he? I think maybe that Porsche, a very slow starter. We're going to go on board with him as we come through this first sector. So he's still chasing down Yannick at the moment. He can see the very big green, very green and black rear bumper of that Genesis X. Very, very big machine indeed. And very reminiscent of the Bentley Continental GT. I know I've said that a few times, but I'll probably say it again. I do think I didn't like it to begin with. I thought it was not Not a very nice looking car, but it's grown on me. Oh, Coleman. It's a little bit slidey through that last turn. He's going to have to keep it. Yeah, he's keeping it nicely. Nicely planted through the windy S sector. Obviously Interlagos very hard on the tyres. It's got some very weird camped corners. So we're on board with Kep at the moment. Kep is chasing that battle of the top three. Well, Coleman and Yannick at the moment. Racing Green kind of getting away at the moment. He's got some free air ahead of him, so he's making the most of it. So Kep doing his utmost to stay with Coleman at the moment. Will we see a move come from the Lexus boys? We'll have to wait and see. We've got Alessandro waiting in the wings there as well. At the moment, he's keeping Kellen nicely behind him. Kellen 3/10 in the Mercedes AMG GT3. Kellen sat in 5th place in the championship, I believe, at the moment as well. Rounds out the top 5. Carter picks up a 2 set. Excuse me, Carter picks up a 2-second penalty. I'm not sure where he got that. He must have been track limit somewhere. Currently being hounded by Perry. Perry wants that position. He's only got to wait though, isn't he? He's not got to get past too quickly, but he obviously wants to try and be able to get on the back of his teammate up ahead, Kellen. Almost loses the rear slightly. In fact, we're going to stay on board with Perry for just a moment because Carter will surely be serving that penalty. I think it's along the start finish. I think on the approach to the start finish is where they make you serve it. Yeah, you can see the bar starting to fill up as we speak. That's going to allow not only Perry but Xavi and possibly Denz also to get past Carter. That's going to be a very costly mistake there. So yeah, Xavi goes through. Denz will go through as well. He does. Will BX manage to get through? Oh, Carter there. Carter moves it over. It was very late to try and cover that move. He's trying to defend now again. Gilles is going to have a look up the inside. Are we going to see Gilles get the move done? And he does. But Carter's still there on his inside now. But then it's going to turn into Gilles' corner once again. And Capel waiting in the wings. So that really hurt Carter, didn't it? Carter now down to 12th place. He's going to lose that 11th place there to Gilles. Gilles moves up into 11th place. Now Capel wants a bit of the action. He's going to try and go around the outside of Carter. Carter says no. That's not going to happen. But then he gets it done up the inside. What a move there from Capel. That was an absolutely fantastic move there from Capel. I was a bit of... He's having a look on Gilles now, isn't he? He's trying to put the pressure on Gilles in the Toyota Supra there. Supra versus Mazda RX Vision. Oh, Gilles gets a little bit squirrely. He's held the car. EA64 says, go ITM. Wait, what? Who's ITM? Welcome along, buddy. Nice to have you aboard. So Carter and Capel having a massive ding-dong now. Capel manages to repass Carter. Carter now down to 13th place. We've got CMP catching up now. Kinda in 14th. Danaman in 15th. They're back on board with the race leader. Racing Green putting in fast laps, and he's actually pulling out a huge gap now over the rest of the field. 1.6 seconds is the lead he has at the moment. On lap 5 is 10. Then we have Yannick there in 2nd place, still holding on to that 2nd place nicely against Coleman. Coleman still unable to find a way past. He was looking good, wasn't he, Coleman? He looked so quick. Well, he managed to take pole, didn't he, in qualifying? But it's looking like maybe Interlagos suits the NSX and the Genesis X more than it does the Porsche. But the Porsche is going to be very heavy on its tyres around here, being mid-rear. But in fact, yeah, I think Racing Green's NSX looking after them tyres really well. Yannick's softs starting to start a bit of a death. Tiny bit worse actually than Coleman's behind in the Porsche. And look at the Lexus guys though. The two Lexus guys are starting to reel Coleman in now. They're really starting to put the pressure on that top three. I think they've just been biding their time, haven't they? They've not been allowing them to break away from them. Maybe they've been saving their tyres. Alessandro not far behind his teammate there as well. Only 7 tenths between him and Kep. Kellen's still unable to find a way through as well in the AMG. Kellen doing it for the Irish. Then you've got Perry. Perry has finally managed to find his way past Xavi. Now starting to chase down his teammate. Kellen up in 6th place. Then Xavi is there in 8th, followed by Denz 9th. BX is 10th. Gilles currently 11th. Capel 12th. Carter 13th. Racing Green now with a 2.1 second lead. So it's just having a Sunday drive out there, doesn't it? I think it's going to be the closest battle here at the moment. This train of cars that is forming currently is surely going to turn into a 5-way battle, 6-way battle for 2nd place. Coleman now really starting to put the pressure on Yannick, really showing the aggression. What can he do? So Yannick now starts to cover off the inside. In fact, now he's moved over onto the racing line. Coleman wasn't quite close enough to be able to send a lunge up the inside, I don't think, on that occasion. So he needs to try and close the gap, doesn't he, on coming up the hill through the final couple of turns. But he seems to reel him back in, doesn't he, through the rest of the lap. Maybe on the approach to the centre S's. In fact, Yannick looked like he went a little bit deep there, almost out onto the marbles. That almost opened the door up there for Coleman to be able to go up the inside. I think he had a bit of a look, but was unable to get it done. And they can still see Racing Green up ahead. Racing Green hasn't pulled out of the picture just yet. But he's got a big enough gap to not have to worry about the guys behind him at the moment. Whereas Yannick's going to be hoping he doesn't put his foot wrong against Coleman, because Coleman is ready to pounce now. And there we go, he has got the distance now, hasn't he? When they come down to turn 1, is he going to be close enough to be able to have a look up the inside? And is he? And he does have a look up the inside. There's a tiny bit of contact there. Yannick hasn't really given him a lot of room. Coleman had to back out. Coleman definitely looking like he wants to take that 2nd place though, doesn't it? It looks like he's hungry. Yannick defending like a champ now. As I say, there wasn't a lot of room given there, was there? But he was right to defend. But that's now brought Kep into the frame as well. Kep right now onto the back of Coleman. It's going to be a 3-way battle for 2nd place in these dying laps of this first race of the evening. Coleman's going to have to try and get that move done soon, isn't he? I think Yannick's tyres look really bad. Kep's tyres looking about the same wear as Coleman's up ahead. He's now into the 5 tenths gap. Coleman's still trying to get that move done. I think we're going to see maybe a move into turn 1 once again. He's going to be close enough this time round. He's actually 4 tenths off. He needed to be closer. Yeah, he needs to be at least 2 tenths to be able to be in with a bit of a chance of having a look up the inside. Kept now in 4th place, still only 3 tenths off the back of Coleman, trying to turn this battle for 2nd place into a 3-way battle. His teammate not far behind there, 8 tenths off the back of his teammate there, Alessandro. Kellen in 6th place, Perry not far behind now in 7th. Denz is in 8th, followed by VX Royal in 9th. So they both managed to get past Xavi. Xavi now down to 10th place. Gilles there in 11th. Can he manage to get past Xavi? Gilles looking to try and break into the top 10. They're going to be coming into the final lap soon. Then we have Capel in 12th place and Carter in 13th. Carter trying to make up for time. He had that huge 2-second penalty, didn't he, which really cost him. CMP in 14th still, and Danman in 15th. CMP still unable to get onto the back of the pack. That was just unlucky, wasn't it, Craig? I feel for him. It was just a bit of a concertina. I'm guessing it was between him and Dan. We didn't quite see the full extent of it, did we? We just saw a couple of cars. Well, it was more than a couple of cars. It was a few cars, very bunched up indeed. So we go into the final lap now. Racing Green has been the man of the hour. What can he do in the feature? All eyes are going to be on him, I feel. Well, him and BX. BX is going to be having to try and put the work in, isn't he, in the feature? At the moment, Coleman is going to be finishing with better points than him in the sprint. He's going to have to finish higher, isn't he, than Coleman in the feature if he wants to keep the lead of the championship. Currently, Yannick is still holding off Coleman there in 2nd place. Kept there, trying to make it past Coleman in 3rd. Kept still in 4th. We'll have to go back on Racing Green ever so shortly because he's coming through the final sector, coming through the final couple of turns very shortly. In fact, it's actually looked like Interlagos, a very hard track in the GT3s to get an overtake done. Maybe that's why we haven't seen too many position swap. Racing Green takes the checkered flag and the win. GG's Racing Green. Yannick, 2nd place. Coleman will finish in 3rd. Kep in 4th. Alessandro 5th. Kellen 6th. Perry 7th. Denz 8th. BX is 9th place. Xavi will finish in 10th. Gilles will finish in 11th. Capel 12th. Carter will finish in 13th. We got CMP. CMP is going to take 14th. Danaman will take 15th. And that was your first race of the evening. Obviously, if you want to get a refreshment, I would do so now. We normally have a couple of minutes before the feature race will begin. We'll find somebody who is practicing on track for you to watch. I'm going to have a little refreshment break myself, and I will be back in the feature. In fact, before I disappear, I will give you the stand-ins quickly. So, obviously you saw it at the end there, but if you didn't see it, Racing Green came first. We had Yannick in 2nd place, Coleman 3rd. We had Kep in 4th, Alessandro 5th, Kellen 6th, Perry 7th, Denz 8th, BX 9th, Xavi 10th, Gilles 11th, Capel 12th, Carter 13th, CMP 14th, Danaman 15th. So, your reverse top 10 grid will be Xavi lining up on pole with BX in 2nd place. We'll have Denz in 3rd, Perry will be 4th, we've got Kellen in 5th, Alessandro will start in 6th, Kep in 7th, Coleman in 8th, Yannick in 9th, and Racing Green will start in 10th position. And I've just realised that flipping my boom up on this headset doesn't work because it's not plugged into the PC, it's plugged into my PS5, so apologies to anyone that heard me clear my chest. Yeah, I digress. I will be back in just a second. We will find somebody on track for you quickly. I'm sure somebody's going to be testing tyres for the feature. In fact, nobody's on track yet. Who normally goes out? I reckon Gilles will go on test. I'll be back in a minute. Hello guys, I'm back. So we've had the message there from BX Royal. We will be starting soon. Hopefully CMP will be able to make up a few more positions in this race. He's had a really good start this season. I think we're going to see him finish higher. He's got a really good teammate in BX. Oh, and there we go. We're straight into the feature. So we'll find Xavi, who will take the guys down to turn one for the first time this evening. Obviously a rolling start in this feature race, as always. And a reverse top 10 grid. Wait, what? Where's the... So we saw Xavi looking to cover off that inside line early doors, and BX is trying to make the move already. trying to get that move done, really putting the pressure on Xavi. Xavi's going to have to cover that inside line. BX follows him over. He's going to have to go around the outside though, isn't he? Surely he's not going to... Xavi's going to move over to take the racing line as well. Still defending the inside. A little bit of a slide on the rear of that Supra. So it's a bit of a... Oh, Den's making a move there on Perry, is it? Was it Perry trying to get a move done on Den's? However, this is the fight for the lead at the moment. Xavi, how long can he keep BX behind him? BX still unable to find his way past. So we've got Xavi still in first place. BX is in second. We've got Den's in third. We've got Perry fourth place. Coleman is fifth. We have Kep trying to make the move in sixth place on Coleman. Really pushing him through the corner now is Kep. And then we have Alessandro, who's just picked up a second's worth penalty in seventh place. So who was that? Coleman. Then like Coleman went off track. Maybe getting a bit of grass there. That's allowed Kep through. He's down to sixth place now. Now Kellen is there in seventh. Kellen, can he get a move done? We've got Racing Green in eighth. Gilles is in ninth. We've got Alessandro now in 10th. CMP is in 11th place. We've got Yannick. Oh, we've got moves being made out the back there. Free wide into turn one. No, it doesn't go. We've got Yannick, CMP, and Dan the Man. Dan the Man came off the better out of that. He managed to get the move done. Up into 11th place. CMP now in 12th. We got Yannick in 13th. Capel in 14th and Carter in 15th. What's happened to these two? I think these two may be having a coming together somewhere, possibly. However, Xavi, excuse me, Xavi still doing really well to keep that first place from BX Royal. He's not giving him no opportunities to get a move done. BX having a cheeky look up the inside now. But still he can get it done. Great defending from Xavi. Xavi is just not given a window of opportunity to BX for him to be able to get that BRZ up the inside. He's going to have a look around the outside, it looked like then. In fact, let's go on board for just a sec. I think we can see moves being made in the background, but just to watch BX chase Xavi down for a couple of corners. Yeah, he's really putting on the pressure, isn't he? But Xavi making that Toyota Supra as wide as he possibly can. The GR Supra. And it's also very, very good in a straight line. So he's, it looks like he's pulling away. Looks like he actually pulls away from BX on the straights, but then BX gains in the corners. BX taking the fastest lap there with 32. So BX is going for the softs as well in this first race. Xavi is on the hards. We have Perry in third place now. He's managed to get a move done on Coleman, hasn't he? Perry on the hards. We've got Coleman there also. Oh no, he's on mediums. Coleman covering the inside line, off against Denz now. Denz in the M6. He's going to have a look around the outside, but there's not going to be a lot of room, is there? So, in fact, that's allowed Kep to get the inside now. Kep up into fifth place. Kep was all over the back of Coleman, wasn't he? He must have lost the position with Denz. Denz now back down into sixth place behind Kep. We got Gilles. Gilles up to seventh. Go on, Gilles. Gilles having a good one at the moment. Good start from Gilles. Alessandro there in eighth place. Dan the Man now in ninth. We got Yannick in 10th. Yannick looking for the move now against Dan the Man. The Genesis X has a go on the inside against the M6. Doesn't quite pay off for him. It looked like he almost... Dan the Man almost lost a rear on his own there. Racing Green still trying to fight his way through the pack. He started in 10th. He's actually lost the position. He's down to 11th place. We've got CMP in 12th, Kellen 13th, Capel 14th, and Carter in 15th. Carter trying to get a move done now on Capel up the inside for Carter. Capel now drops down to 15th place. Has he got an answer for Carter? Carter also on the mediums, Capel on the hards. BX Royal now 1.7 seconds is the lead he has over Xavi. In fact, what happened there? Xavi, yeah, we must have missed that. BX Royal takes the lead of the race, and 2.3 seconds ahead of Xavi he is now. As I say, BX on the softs. That was his strategy the last 2 weeks as well. He went for the softs early doors. Perry and Coleman having a battle. Perry, I think Coleman maybe finding his way past, or he's trying to get back past Perry. He was ahead of him at one stage, wasn't he? But Perry managed to get the move done. I think Perry now defending. He's defending for dear life, isn't he? But these two having a really good battle here as well. Coleman almost looking at the inside there, but then Perry's going to have the inside of his next one. It's one of them tricky sectors, isn't it? It's one of them where you want to try and make the move done if you can get it done, but then it can turn into the other person's corner very quickly and they can change, you know, they can take the position back very easily. So it's often than not better to wait until you come up this final sector and get it done along the start finish or into turn one. But putting the pressure on now is Coleman, and that these two are actually starting to get onto the back of Xavi in second place. Xavi only 6 temps up the road now. Perry's going to have to go defensive, isn't he, into turn one, I think, to keep Coleman behind him. Oh! Coleman squaring behind him, unable to find a way through, and he's got around the outside as Coleman! Or he did, momentarily. That was a very brave move there from Coleman. It nearly paid off for him, but in the end it allowed Perry back through. That was unlucky, Coleman. And he's dropped 7 temps behind now. He's got a little bit of work to get, well, he's still in the slipstream range, but yeah. So Kep there in 5th place, 2 seconds now off the back of Coleman. Kep is on hards. We've got Gilles in 6th place on hards. Alessandro getting the move done there on Dens. Alessandro on hards, Dens down to 8th now. He's also on hards. Dan the Man is on hards. We've got Racing Green now back up to 10th place. He's also on hards. He's having a look now up the inside of Dan the Man. Looked like Dan the Man opened the door for him. Damn, what are you doing, dude? Unless he just took a crazy wide line into that last turn. But it looked like he just opened the door up and waved him through. So Racing Green now up to 9th place. Dan the Man stay with him. Racing Green now in an M6 sandwich. We've got Yannick there in 11th place. So Yannick dropping a position. CMP in 12th. CMP still unable to make his way through the pack at the moment. I think he's got past Kellen though. Kellen's still hot on his heels though. 2 temps is in it at the moment. He's going to have to cover that inside, isn't he? Kellen's going to have a look around the outside. And in fact, it looks like he's ahead into the corner. He's going to have the inside for the next one. And he has he? No, CMP still on the inside. I'll say turn one can be one of them tricky ones. And Carter has now crept up right onto the back of Kellen. So Carter trying to have a look up the inside now. And he has actually managed to send one up the inside. He's managed to get a stick as well. Kellen now down to 14th place. He was a bit of a sitting duck there, really, unable to find his way past CMP. And he's actually picked up a 1 point. What did he get that for? I don't even know what he got that for. Kellen with a 1.5 second penalty. Capel all the way down in 15th, 2 seconds off the back of the field. BX Royal now with a 6-second lead. He's actually taken the fastest lap of the race as well, the 1:31.123. Obviously that will be coming down with the lighter fuel loads. I'm sure we're going to see the 30s later on. In fact, I think Xavi was one of the guys that was going for the hard soft strategy, wasn't it? Goes for the softs very late in the race. So that's going to be an interesting strat going on there. But at the moment, BX Royal, 5.3 seconds is the lead. And Coleman's managed to get past Perry once again. Perry now under the attention of Xavi. And he's actually lost the slip now of Coleman as well. So that's not going in his favour at the moment. Perry maybe under attack from Xavi in the next couple of turns. Xavi has closed that gap. He's now up to the 4 temps gap. He's now within 4 temps. He's bringing that gap down as well. 3 temps. Perry doing all he can at the moment to try and break that toe, but almost into the second there. Big moment from Perry. He's actually managed to pull a few temps there over Xavi in 4th place. Kep still in 5th, bit of a gap there between him and Xavi, and then a bit of a gap between him and Gilles. Gilles still 6th place, holding off Alessandro in 7th. In fact, this looks like maybe the closest battle at the moment. Alessandro 7th against Gilles in 6th. In fact, Gilles doing a really good job of keeping that gap very consistent at the moment to Alessandro. Not giving him an opportunity. Racing Green now up to 8th place. He's managed to get past down the man finally. I think it was 9th place last time we checked in with him. Took the win, didn't he, in the sprint race? And he actually dropped a position at the start of the race, didn't he? But he's managed to make up a few now, so he's up to 8th place. Still early days in this race as well. He's actually on hard, so maybe he's going to be going for a hard soft strategy or a hard medium. So you have to use 2 different compounds in this race or in this season. Alessandro still putting that pressure on Gilles, still unable to find a way past. Then we have Danneman now in 9th. Followed by Yannick in 10th. Denz in 11th place, being hounded by Carter in 12th. I think we might see a move come from Carter. There's only a couple of hundredths in it now. And he's going to have a look up the inside into turn 1. They're alongside, they're neck and neck. And he manages to get a move done. Denz now down to 12, Carter up to 11th. Nice clean move there from Carter. Denz now down to 12th. We've got CMP still in 13th. Capel 14th and Kellen in 15th. Kellen's dropped a few places now. In fact, wasn't Kellen... Yeah, Kellen was quite further up. Perhaps he's struggling on the hards. So BX trying to make the most out of them softs. He's got to run them for as long as he possibly can, hasn't he, to make a one-stop viable. But he is losing time now to the rest of the field. 3.7 seconds that gap's come down to. And you can see it in his lap times as well. So he did 31s on lap 4 and 5. He's now back into the 32s once again. Coleman actually improving on his lap times. He's into the 31s now. He's pulled a gap. Oh, BX is now into the pits. Okay, so Coleman on the mediums. Interestingly, I wonder if he's going to go mediums hards. Surely he's not going to be able to go medium soft. I don't think that's going to be... You never know though. He's... With 10 laps in, if he can eke them out for another... I say 8... another 8 laps. I reckon if he can get another 8 laps out of them, he could probably take the softs to the end. That's an interesting one, because the mediums are definitely going to be... They're going to have the pace advantage over the hards. He's actually got a 2.9 second lead over Perry now, who is up to 2nd place. Obviously with BX Royal pitting, BX Royal will come out some way down the field, maybe even in last. I think the pit stop is quite long around here. But he will gain positions once everyone else starts to pit. So Xavi now into the top 3. 3 seconds off the back of Perry. He's got Kep for company. Kep not too far off the back of him. 6 tenths at the moment. Alessandro in 5th place, being chased down by Racing Green, who is in 6th now. So Racing Green, who else is pit? So Gilles down to 7th. Gilles was ahead of Racing Green. I think somebody else is pit. Vanderman now 8th, Yannick 9th, Carter 10th, Dens 11th, Capel 12th, Kellen 13th, CMP 14th. CMP pit? Why CMP 21.5 seconds? I think CMP's gone for a pit stop, but he's not changed his tyres or anything. Unless he's just chucked some more fuel. He might have just taken some more fuel on board. So BX Royal now out on a fresh set of mediums, and he's got a full tank. So I think he's thinking it's possible, unless he's going to go for a 2-stop softs at the end. I think BX Royal looking to try and take these mediums to the end of the race. I thought he'd have to take them to lap 18. I mean, no, yeah, well, yeah. I think 18 laps on the mediums was what I was thinking. Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one come the final stages of this race. So Coleman, 3.6 seconds ahead of Perry on lap 11. And his tyres not looking too bad, but he's definitely going to be feeling it. He's going to be feeling the loss of grip for sure. You can see some of the other guys have pit now. We've got Kep and Alessandro both into the pits, getting rid of them hards. It'll be interesting to see what they come out on. I think they're going to probably take the mediums. Unless it is going to be a 2-stop around Interlagos, because it is a very high tyre wear track, isn't it? As you can see. So Perry, now 3.7 seconds. He's actually got a 3-second buffer either way between himself, Coleman and Xavi, so looking good for him. Racing Green finds himself now up to 4th place, so I think that's courtesy of the pit stop of, I can't remember who saw going. I think it was Kep and Alessandro. So Racing Green now up to 4th place. Got Gilles up to 5th. Yannick there in 6th. Danaman up to 7th with his teammate there in 8th. Then we have Kellen in 9th. Kep, so yeah, it was Kep, wasn't it? Kep's pit. He's come out on a fresh set of mediums with fuel. CMP, I don't know what's happened to CMP. I don't know if he's pit or what, but he's still on them hards, and if he has taken on fuel, he's not taken on a lot. Alessandro mediums with 3/4 of a tank of fuel. So I think that Alessandro's going to have to. I think he'll be pitting again. I think he's committed to a 2-stop. I think BX is trying the 1-stop, and he's going to see how it feels, maybe. I'm sure these guys have probably tested it. But maybe some, well, you don't all the time get a chance to test your strategies, do you? Try and make time for it, but that's weird. So CMP now into the pits, followed by Kellen. Coleman's still yet to pit. As I say, I thought it was going to be I thought you had to take the mediums for like 18 laps, but I don't know if they're going to last that long, because you can see on lap 13 the Colemans have started to die a bit of a death, so they're definitely going to be feeling very second hand at the moment. I wonder when he is going to decide to pit and what compound he will go for. So he's decided to stay out once again. 5 seconds is his lead over Perry. Perry now enters the pits. Is Xavi going to stay out, or will he follow him in? So Xavi's in. Gilles has got some very good tyres left on that car, but he's decided to pit also, as has Yannick, as has Dan the Man. Denz, however, has stayed out favouring track position. He will move up into second place, albeit momentarily, because he has got to pit at some point. And we have Coleman now in 17 seconds gap ahead of Denz. Is that going to mean that he can come out ahead of everyone? Not too sure. And Coleman is doing really well at the moment. He's definitely making the most of them tyres as well. We saw BX Royal on them softs. He took them for as long as he possibly could. He's now up to 8th place. But Coleman trying all he can at the moment to try and take the win in this second race of the evening, the feature. So Denz still yet to pit. And then Kep, who has pit, and Alessandro. But they pit, I'm sure they pit after BX. How did BX lose so much time? Perry now in 5th. Coleman now does enter the pits on lap 14. So I was saying I was thinking it was going to be 16 to 18. He's gone in on lap 14, so what will he come out on? Surely unable to take the soft to the end. Denz follows him in, so Kep will become new race leader once he comes across the start finish, or will he? Will Coleman come out in first place? He's finished fueling, he's on a set of hards. I think he is coming down the pit straight now. He is. Coleman is coming down the pit straight. Is he going to keep that lead? I think he might keep the lead of the race. This might be an absolutely blinding strategy call here from Coleman. And as he comes out of the pits, he is indeed ahead of Kep. That was an absolutely cracking pit stop there from the boys. They absolutely put in a flying one, didn't they? He's managed to pull it. Go on, Coleman. So not only has he managed to come out in first place, but he's actually got a 3.4 second buffer back to Kep. He's still got to get them hards to switch on. Kep is on the mediums as well, so should be able to close that gap. But yeah, what an absolutely fantastic strategy call there from Coleman. And Coleman will surely take them hards to the end of the race. Or will he lose too much time on him? It does look like he is losing a bit of time to the cars behind at the moment. So it was around 3.4, wasn't it? It's now down to 2.9. I think he is struggling to get them hards to switch on though. Cold hards aren't the one. So Kep now backed up by Alessandro. So the two Lexus boys actually running second and third respectively at the moment. Perry now in 4th place. Xavi 5th. He's going to lose that position, isn't he? Surely to Racing Green. Racing Green in 6th place at the moment. Racing Green pushing hard in the NSX. Battle of the JDMs at the moment. The NSX versus the GR Supra. I thought maybe Racing Green not close enough. Oh, tiny bit of contact. He managed to get a move done though. I think there was just enough room to get through and they just bumped a little bit of door to door. So Xavi down to 6th place now. Racing Green is up to 5th. Perry getting a little bit out of shape up ahead. Lost a couple of attempts now to Racing Green. Racing Green on the mediums. Still got another 10 laps to go. I think enough fuel in them cars for 10 laps. Maybe they have. Xavi now 6th. BX is in 7th place. Come on, BX. He went for that very early pit stop, didn't he? And look, his tyres are looking a little bit worse for what he's... Yeah, I think BX is going to have to do a 2-stop. I think a lot of the guys are maybe going to have to do a 2-stop, you know. don't know, or maybe the softs was a bad call. I think the only way you can do a one-stop, maybe hard mediums or medium hards. So I think BX may be committed to the two-stop. He surely, if he does pit again, he'll come out on the softs. Gilles now in 8th with Yannick there in 9th. Bit of a gap between Gilles and Yannick, and Gilles and BX. Carter now in 10th. Danneman on the back of him in 11th place. Danneman looked like he was looking up the inside there, but not quite close enough to be able to send one. He is closing them, isn't he? He's definitely closing that gap. Carter, if he leaves that door open, I'm sure Dan is going to be able to slide that M6 up the inside. He's having a look now. And he just carries the better speed through that corner, and he does manage to get through in the end. So Dan the man, great move there, up into 10th place. And I think that's the advantage of the mediums over the hards. Carter on the hards, now down to 11th. We got Capel there in 12th place, Kellen in 13th, we got Dens in 14th, and CMP in 15th place. Coleman, that gap now down to 1.7 seconds. He will surely have them hard switched on now. They're going to be up to temperature, but look at them two Lexus RCF looming in the background. I think they're going to make it a very bad day out for Coleman. As I say, I think Coleman is looking to try and take these hards to the end of the race, but I think that is definitely going to hurt him somewhat to be on the hards for the last stages, while everyone around you is on the softer compounds. They're also going to have to watch Racing Green, who's on a charge now. He's now managed to get past Perry, and he's not far. He's only 2.4 seconds off the back of the two Lexus, or Lexi, in that NSX. So to win the sprint, he's trying to chase the double now. He's actually got the fastest lap in this second phase of the feature race, 1:31.072 for Racing Green. Perry hasn't lost sight of him just yet though. Perry only 9/10 off the back of Racing Green, so still should be able to re-challenge if he closes that gap. So Xavi's 6th. BX Royal at the moment in a bit of no man's land, down in 7th place. He's actually 4.5 seconds off the back of Xavi, but he's got a nice 3-second buffer over Gilles in 8th. So Yannick still trying to chase Gilles down in 9th place. Yannick had a really good start, didn't he? He had a really good sprint race. Unable to find his feet at the moment in this feature. He's definitely made a few positions, but yeah. So now we've got a battle forming between Capel and Kellen. Kellen looking like he's on a bit of a charge in the AMG against the GR Supra up ahead of Capel. And it looks like Kellen may be close enough as they come down the start finish for the 19th time in this race. Will he be able to go for a move into turn 1? It's where we've seen a lot of the moves happen tonight. No, not close enough then. And we have the two M6s of Denz and Dan the Man, now 12th and 13th. Carter must have had a moment somewhere on them hards, down in 14th place. 10 seconds off the back of Dan the Man, but CMP now 19 seconds off the back of Carter. What happened to CMP? I'm not sure what happened to CMP. Coleman, however, he looked like he was going to come under pressure, didn't it, from Kep and Alessandro, but they've still not managed to close that gap. It's been 1.7 seconds for the last couple of laps. There's only 6 laps to go. And it looked like, oh no, Kep's picked up a 2-second penalty. That's going to allow Alessandro through without having to work for it. He's looking for the move already, though. I think Kep's just going to let him through. He knows he's got that penalty. He's going to lose the position anyway. And Alessandro does manage to get up the inside. Yeah, that's good. That's really going to hurt Kep. Or has really hurt Kep. He's going to lose that 3rd place to Racing Green. Racing Green's not going to have to work for it. These two are actually going to have to try and work together now to try and pull away from Racing Green, I feel. And Racing Green can smell that top 3 at the moment. Managing to take a 2nd place in his debut last week, and now he took the win in the sprint race. He's now chasing 3rd place in the feature with 5 laps to go. And he's going to get it anyway, isn't he? He's actually only 8 tenths off the back of Kep now. You can see Kep holding that penalty as well. His penalty bar will start to fill up. Absolute heartbreak there for Kep. Like Racing Green almost drifting off onto the grass there. And yeah, there you go, Kep drops down to 4th. Will he drop to 5th as well? I think he will. Perry goes around the outside there. Xavi is going to be able to close that gap as well as Kep gets back up to speed. So Alessandro is now released, now free to try and get onto the back of Coleman, but their mediums are coming to the end of their lifespan now. Are they going to hold on to the end? Coleman's just look the better tyre now, don't they? They didn't look so good at the start of this hard stint. In fact, I sort of thought maybe he'd made a mistake going for the hards in the final stages, but yeah, they just hold on better, don't they? So Alessandro now 1.9 seconds off the back of Coleman. He's got his work cut out if he wants to challenge for the lead of the race, but he now knows that he has got Racing Green behind him as well. Only 7 tenths in it. And Racing Green has proven to be a very fast man indeed in that NSX. I think if he was here in the first week, I think we'd definitely see him up towards the top 3. Or the top 5 at least. And I think it's going to be all changes come the stand-ins this week. Coleman actually sitting pretty at the moment though. He's got a 2-second lead, 2.2 second lead now over the rest of the field. Over Alessandro there in 2nd place. Alessandro managing to hold Racing Green though off in 3rd at the moment, keeping that gap consistent. 8 tenths has been the gap for the last lap or 2. We've got 3 more to go in this race. I fancy Racing Green in the NSX though is definitely going to have the better tyres, isn't even the Lexus is. That NSX does look like it's very kind on its tyres. I mean, it could just be Racing Green just could be very, very good at tyre conservation. He looked very, very smooth when we were on board with him earlier, to be fair. And that is where, you know, where you save your tyres, isn't it? By being very smooth with your inputs. Not scrubbing the tyres too much. And he has closed that gap now to Alessandro. Alessandro's in trouble. He's going to lose that second place, surely. In fact, we're going to go on board it for a minute with Racing Green. Racing Green chasing down Alessandro. They can actually see Coleman. Coleman up ahead. Is Coleman at the moment somewhere? That gap was definitely a little bit bigger, wasn't it? I'm sure. So, in fact, these two guys here can see first place. And Racing Green now goes for the move up the inside. Alessandro. Oh, he's got the move done before the corner. Yeah, Alessandro, a bit of a sitting duck there. That NSX very strong indeed, isn't it? Oh, will he pick up? Got a little bit greedy on the inner apex there, but he's managed to get away with it. I thought he was going to get a half a second penalty. He started to pull away as well, it looks like, from Alessandro. And what a move, though, to get that move done before the turn. Before the corner. What can Racing Green do now? He's got 2 laps. 2 laps to try and reel Coleman in. Coleman obviously on the hard compound tyres. Racing Green is on the mediums. BX Royal still sat in 7th place. What is BX doing? As I say, I think maybe the track car combo not great for the BRZ. I think both BRZ boys suffering a little. Oh, Racing Green's just had a moment. He's had a moment. Has that allowed Alessandro to be able to get a move done? No, he's closed that gap. Come on, Racing Green. I thought we were going to see Racing Green challenge for the lead of this race. At the moment, he's having to defend now against Alessandro. How is the turntables? Perry now in 4th place. He's actually managed to get onto the back of Alessandro. Can he turn this into a three-way battle for 2nd place once again? We saw it in the sprint race, didn't we? Then we have Kep, followed by Xavi. So that's your top 6. Well, this is where the spicy racing is, isn't it? At the front, Coleman now with a 2.5 second lead over the field, though, as Racing Green had that moment, didn't he? Is Racing Green going to have enough fuel? Well, in fact, yeah, a few guys with the flashing fuel warning, so I think everybody is going to finish with enough fuel. I think we have seen a couple of people run out of fuel though so far this season. Lap 25 of 26 now. So Coleman with the textbook strategy, it seems at the moment. He went for that very, very long first stint on the mediums, changed onto the hards in the final stint, and yeah, it's paid off for him at the moment. 2.3 seconds is the lead he's got over Racing Green. We've just seen BX Royal lose a position now to Yannick, so BX is now down to 7th place. Racing Green, though, absolutely fantastic racing from Racing Green. Coming from, well, he started in 10th, didn't he? He's managed to make his way through to 2nd place. Perry currently sat in 3rd with Alessandro in 4th place. So Perry's managed to get past Alessandro. He's on to the top 3, onto the 3rd slot of that podium. Can Alessandro have an answer for him in the dying stage of this race? Kep currently sat in 5th, hounded by Xavi in 6th. Xavi looking for the move now. Is he going to be able to get it done, though? Who's that we got coming up to the line? No, it wasn't Coleman. Oh, no. Xavi wants that 5th place. He's going to have to keep it clean though. Yannick 7th place. VX currently sat in 8th. Is he going to lose that position to Gilles though in 9th? Gilles looking quite hungry at the moment. They're in 9th place. Coleman though, just with the superior strategy here in this feature race this week. He's going to take the checkered flag. Racing Green 2nd place. GG's. We got Perry comes home in 3rd. GG Perry. Alessandro 4th. Xavi in 5th. Kep in 6th. We got Yannick in 7th place. BX Royal is going to take 8th with Gilles in 9th place. Hot on his heels in the end there. And then this train of cars here. We have Capel finishes in 10th place, Denz in 11th, Kellen 12th, Danaman in 13th, Carter. I think it's going to be one to forget for Carter this week. Going for fastest lap though. Go on Carter. We'll take the fastest lap on the final lap of the race. And there you go, 1:30.798 at the end there for Carter to take the fastest lap. And then CMP last but not least, through the final couple of turns now. It's the final turn here. And he brings it home in 15th place. Well, that was the feature race, guys. What a one that was again this week. Spicy racing indeed. Fantastic stuff. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you all enjoyed watching. Obviously, we'll be back again, same time, same place next week. I've been your boy Vex. This has been the Tier 1 drivers from the Aero League Racing's Gt7 Championship. Good night.
Considering the season I've had, he'll take that.
Wait. So Gilles says, considering the season he's had, he'll take that. Yeah, you did good tonight, Gilles. As I say, coming on leaps and bounds, obviously it takes a little while to get back into it, doesn't it? After you've taken a break from being on the wheel. As you probably saw when I came on, I'll set my wheel up next week and I'll come on for a little practice lap before when you guys have to practice and stuff. And it's bad, mate, because I've not been on GT7 for so long, so rusty. Obviously my head's tuned now to F1. Which is a completely different driving style, but hey-ho. But yeah, as I say, I digress. Same time, same place next week. Been your boy Vex. It's been Aero League Racing's Tier 1 Drivers GT7 Championship. Good night.